Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story. Guys, we're in the semifinals here, and this is a pretty intense match. My opponent has some good lifetime banners, good player. He has a very efficiency-based game plan, which we all know how to deal with that. You put a really strong defense down, and you just break them with that. I mean, you could be way more efficient if they play super efficiency. And I did my scouting, did my due diligence, and there were a couple things that I did a little poorly here, and we'll talk about those. But there's also some cool stuff that went right, and we'll also deal with that. So let me show you guys my defenses real quick. I want to show you one thing. So here's the thing. I kind of had a 3v3 hangover, and I had assumed that I was going to be able to place more teams on defense than I could. I think a lot of it had also had to do with like talking about the new divisions and how the new zones were going to we're gonna have a lot more squads in those zones. And so when I was gonna place 3 Galactic Legends, and when I had placed everything, I went back to the bottom far back zone, and I was like, alright, now I'll place my Jedi Master Luke and we'll be good. And then I realized I didn't have any slots left. So this isn't the strongest defense for an efficiency player to play against, and especially a guy who keeps like everything for offense. So I went in. I was still pretty confident going into this fight. I don't know. I up to this match, we're in a 43 win streak, 43 in a row consecutively, winning GA Center right now, the competition between all of my peers and I in Grand Arena records for, a consecutive like 4 seasons. And, confidence is pretty high. So this guy, I didn't necessarily think was that much of a threat, and you'll see why in a little bit. But let's actually go to the next. Let's actually start seeing the fight, folks, shall we? Let's do it. Alright, hold on a second. Whoa. Let's rewind a little bit, guys, here. Okay, so it's Gambit Fight Night. You guys can see where I still need a better way to actually follow, or to actually record these videos during Gambit Fight Night. With the new cam, it's just been kind of a mess. So, alright guys, here's the thing. Their best team on defense was almost certainly going to be Grievous. And so, front bottom zone, probably where it should be if that's your strongest team. And they've got a Beskar team, not the best mods on Beskar, which is fine. No shade or anything, but you want Relic 7 on Beskar if you're going to be using him a lot, in my opinion. Now, let's get to the next one. So his top zone here, guys, he's got a Bounty Hunter team, and they're not super fast. He's got Jedi Training Ray, but without the Hero Bros, and then he's got Asajj and Nightsisters. So not very strong defense, just total cheese defense, in fact. So decided to use my Mothra team here, and so check it out. So Nute goes first, and this is pivotal, folks. This is pivotal. So I just recently did a video on how to use this team, and I didn't really cover how to do things here. This is a scenario that I didn't really like. I faced a lot of different iterations of this team. I hadn't had a Nute put extortion on Cara Dune right off the bat, and that is one thing that I think you really need to, at the very start, you need that turn meter reduction from Cara. That is, in my opinion, incredibly important. But the default is well, if I pay extortion, then that's great. We can go about our business. Everyone still gets their attacks, and we'll keep going. But she needs to do her AoE to get rid of turn meter instead of paying extortion. One of the few times I will say you shouldn't pay extortion first. So I did pay extortion, and now we're just going to, I was like, oh, cool, like, we're just going to kill B1 right away. He's taking turns. You know, not a very scary Grievous team. They do have a lot of target locks on us and everything. They're taking a lot of turns, and Scout dies immediately. So, I mean, part of that's a function of me not having a lot of relics on Scout, and part of that is them just taking a lot of turns because they had a ton of turn meter loaded because I didn't reduce it with Kara. And now they've killed 2 of my guys, and they're about to kill Kara. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I can try to reduce some turn meter here. Like, for a little bit, at this point, I was sure I was going to lose. But I was like, you know, maybe I can actually kill a droid before I'm done. Like, I still have a revive for Mothra. K2 won't die right away. Hopefully we can just go along. Grievous decided to kill the soldier there instead of K2. That's great. But, of course, Magna Guard is taunting. And this went to hell real quick, guys. Like... So super frustrating. Now that here's the thing that's frustrating to me, honestly. I didn't have to do this. I could have used a stronger team to beat this. Because this isn't 100% to win that. There just isn't. So wasn't necessary that I do that. Disappointed in myself. Now I did decide to just continue on with my plans here. And oh gosh, this is slow video. Here's the thing, this is all because this was all recorded live by someone else, and so apparently it's going to be a little laggy, guys. I apologize. I'm going to get a better recording option. I just need to. This is not really that acceptable for my videos. So anyways, we're marking Bando, and we got to kill him first. So we didn't manage to land a lucky hit. We ended up getting, you know, he triggered his damage immunity, or his immediate turn, which he turned into damage immunity. And they're actually doing some decent hits. They're doing good, and we're actually just locked into hitting Bando or IG. And I don't know why I was hitting Bando there. I think maybe I just only recognized it as I could only hit Bando because he was marked, but he's out of mark now. He's about to do Whistling Birds. He doesn't have high offense, though. I wasn't that worried. I don't think Savior was triggered at this point. Maybe. I think they do trigger it at some point in this fight. Again, just crazy. And this is a high tenacity nest. The rest of these guys have pretty pedestrian mods. Now, I keep talking about mods. My opponent does have bets, like in some categories his mods are better than mine, and, you know, including speed. So he does have that. He does have a very good roster, very good, you know, mod repertoire. Oh, okay, there it was. Okay, so Nest goes in and triggers Savior in one big hit on Yoda. But now we can mark Bando. He's not going to have the damage immunity thing or anything, just because we already triggered it. And now that Bando's gone, we killed IG real quick. I mean, now it's all over but the cry. And I think my favorite part of this fight actually is as we start taking down Nest. Now, no, this is very important actually, guys. You need Revan lead here. If you want to kill a Nest, a Relic 7 Nest, or whatever relic it is, with this team, instead of just timing out potentially, you need to have Basti on the team with Revan as lead, because Basti gives the entire team a ton of potency, and that lets you reduce her max health. So watch your health bar as we're doing basics here. Not every single one is going to land, but every time we do a basic, or maybe it's just a hit, I don't remember now. Every time we hit, though, she's going to have her max health reduced. So got a stun there. We can mark, and even though she's gaining all this bonus protection, watch as her health pool slowly starts to shrink. You do need all the potency, though. She's at 160 tenacity, and none of my guys have nearly enough to be able to actually impact her as far as you know, decreasing her max health by 10%. But look at her health bar. It's getting there. Yep, it's just about there. I'm trying to find ways to get protection back, and she just shrunk too fast. So I got 59 banners there, and now we've got to finish off that that Grievous team, I was a little bit on tilt. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, you know what, let's just... I loaded turn meter thinking if I do use a counter like Nightsisters, we may as well just have them turn meter loaded, and then they'll get a few kills right off the bat and just kind of start old Daka off the right way. So, you know, like start getting her a bunch of health and everything. It gets so they got a ton of turns. They killed a few people. Daka is gaining a bunch of health as prescribed, and now we're just trying to get all of our plague out. They're gonna kill people. People are gonna die. That's how it works. So this is the second clench in a row, though, guys, and or clench squad, I should say. Now note that I kept Asajj dead for a little bit, just so I could keep spamming those basics and keep summoning her so that Daka would get a little extra health, which turns out to be pretty important in this fight. So everyone's dead. Daka revives everyone. So all three of those guys died. Wonderful. That means that old Daka is plus what, like another 50k health, something like that. So we're actually pretty close, though, to killing B2, or B1 and B2. You'll note that old Daka's not doing great. And Grievous, in his moment of glory there, just decided to kill Zombie instead of Daka, so that was wise. Now he's plagued. Now we can rest. Like, we're gonna win this. Couple of clench moments there, and I don't know, this... I'm not convinced that this was a super wise counter, frankly, because here's the thing, like, even if we were guaranteed a win against this team, we need to be pinching banners, and this is not pinching banners at all. This is me throwing away another 6 banners, in fact. Like, that's pretty big. So, like we're compounding errors. It's a fun squad. It's a fun counter. You know, in terms of like effectiveness, it was okay, but I was already doing poorly in terms of like my deployment against my opponents. So, you know, I needed to have more heavy defensive squads, and I didn't have them. So, I don't know. A little disappointed in that, but now we can continue on. We're going to use troopers here. We outspeed these bounty hunters, even though it's Jango lead, and I think Bosk ends up being like 335. My Piet is somewhere in the 340 something range. People were telling me that I shouldn't ever do the AoE from Dark Trooper, and I guess I don't see why. Like, his punch is pretty good. His basic is really good, and his buff is decent as well. I don't know. I was just trying new things. So, you know, Relic 8 Dark Trooper, almost 11k offense is just a pure joy. You guys should try it sometime. Really, really fun. But we got 60. We're trying to pinch banners here, guys. After I hemorrhaged them against that Grievous squad, we really, really need to be tight here. So, here's one that I had a game plan for a while. My 2 compatriots, Solo and Ando, were not that helpful with this. I was like trying to talk it through, and they were just like staring, not talking. So just had to eventually just talk it through. So we're using Aurra lead, and they had some kind of quick guys, but this is Dooku lead with Geobrute Alpha and I think it's Relict Droidica. So I had to check all the speeds to make sure it worked, but I did in the off season. I upped my speed on the bounty hunters, so the Bosk is like 324, Grief is 323, so, and Aurra is, I think she's only Relic 2 right now, but she's doing some good stuff. So the idea here, guys, there's a ton of really tricky targets that we need to be taking out, but watch the turn meter gain, guys. This is the cool thing about this team. You gain a ton of turn meter as you keep playing. You can, with this comp, you can actually get your Mando or disintegrate almost immediately. So watch as we do this. So Bosk taunts, because with Frenzy he's going to get another turn right away. We're going to use Grief's Mass Assist. This will also Dispel on Brute. And so then I was like, okay, so Bosk is actually out in the open. We don't want to shoot Dooku because Dooku will hit me back and gain turn meter for that. And we don't want that. We don't want him to stun. We don't want any of that. So instead I was like, okay, we're not going to risk that stun on Dooku. We're just going to try to stun Droideka. We missed with Bosk, but then Boba actually got a turn before Mando did. Got an execute off on Droideka. Got Disintegrate on Brood Alpha. We can taunt once again. And, I mean, we've got our contract. We're good to go. So, she's in stealth. She can shoot Dooku without any kind of reprisal. We can focus him down. Now, keep watching the turn meter, guys. So, I need to get ability block with Boba, if I can, on that spy. Because he's the one who's actually going to be doing some damage. So, did the turn meter gain and buffs from Grief. And now we've got ability block, and we're going strong, guys. We can do our mass assist on Sunfac. Shoot that brute. Probably shouldn't have actually used the middle ability there, but anyways, pretty smooth sailing on that fight. Like, they barely got a turn. In fact, I don't know if they did get a turn. So, one of my favorite counters, guys, this Bounty Hunter team, man. If you want a team you should work on for 3v3 or 5v5 in the coming division changes, highly recommend. So we got Vader here. We need, and I don't need to use Watt on anything else. I have 2 Galactic Legends for offense for the last 2 squads, but need to figure out what we want to do here. Decided to use Watt with Vader, so you put weapons tech on Vader. So every time he kills someone, they stay dead. And I mean, that's brutal on its own. Probably can work with just Watt and Vader, though. I think that's a little dicey. Like, things can get away from you if you don't execute perfectly. Now, here's what I was debating, guys. I was like, okay, if we do this, like, so we reduced all their turn meter with Gideon, and now what we can do, we can just do a Force Crush here, because we're going to gain enough turn meter fast enough that Thrawn can actually hand the turn to Vader next after all of this. So like, may as well do a Force Crush right now. We can hand the turn to Vader, and then Vader can go and get into Merciless. So kind of like pretending like Palpatine lead, except all the dots are gonna stick. So we need to immediately after Merciless do a Saber Toss so we can get a second Saber Toss, after all of this. So I want to kill Talzin here if we can, because Plague plus stuns is really bad. So kill Talzin. She can't come back. Asajj is almost dead. And my compatriots were, I don't know, they were advising different weird things. And I decided to just ignore them and play my game. And I think that's fine. So decided to do Force Crush here. We can kill Asajj potentially just by that. I actually killed Spirit as well. And then we still have a Saber Toss on Daka. Probably didn't really need Thrawn here, but Fractured Zombie just to F you, just to tell her F you one time, and we got 61. So getting a couple banners back here, being as efficient as possible. Really, really, guys, that was so egregious. That Grievous squad really is quite egregious. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, so check out this comp. This was pretty weird. We're using Barriss here because every time you get hit, or every time, she takes a turn, she dispels one of her allies' debuffs. And here's the really scary thing, guys. Cassian has the healing immunity debuff. I don't know if you guys remember the video from a while ago, but I almost lost by just sending Sith Eternal in to just demolish this team on his own, and they put healing immunity on me, and I was in the red on health, and like so close to death, like just not even. It was really scary. It got like dicey AF, guys. It wasn't a great situation, and so I was gonna lose, and then I just barely squeezed like one extra relic level on one of those characters would have just got the win for them. So taking Barriss here, watch. So did you see that? Like Palp has a ton of debuffs, and then she comes in and cleanses it. Here, well, let me just rewind just a tiny bit. Here we go. Okay, so note all of his debuffs She's taking a turn. She's about to just take a swipe at someone. And immediately... Wow, hold on. This is madness, guys. I apologize. Okay, so she's gonna go. He's got all the debuffs. So does she. And so she dispels on herself, but now she can't dispel on herself because she doesn't have any, and she dispels helps. So, pretty good utility. Mothra teams probably aren't going to kill Relic Barriss, and you get your what do you call it? Your ultimate pretty quick with Palp. So, yeah, it ends up being a pretty decent synergy here. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But we did get a 61, and we can move on. So last team around, I think, is up top. Yeah, so I decided to use... I have my 3 overpowered Jedi against this Resistance team. This Resistance team has so many AoEs and stuff. It's going to be really tough to get perfect banners, but... if you go undersized, then hopefully even if they take away your protection, you can still get like 60, 59, something like that. So killed Han first, just because you can't kill Rey first, because both veterans are going to just go crazy after that. Now, I kind of mismanaged this a tiny bit, trying to, like, so you want to do F-Lux if you can. You want to, give yourself turn meter. That middle... ability too, that mind trick, that was the thing I was trying to figure out, like, at what point do we want to increase Rey's cooldowns? Because it works through foresight, like, so you call someone to assist and they'll miss, but they'll still reduce their turn meter, so, or their cooldowns. So I was trying to figure out who to do that to. I think I kind of, like, I eventually just decided to do F-Lux, because like BB-8 wasn't going to hit me back, and it would be nice to get ability block off. But yeah, I think I have days on Ki-Adi-Mundi here is why I'm not calling him to assist, because otherwise, why wouldn't I call Ki-Adi-Mundi to assist? He's too cool. He's too fun. So just kind of whittling him down. I don't want to hit BB-8 because BB-8's going to hit me back. So take out Rey. BB-8's gonna hit us back, damn it all, and he's got all the foresight and stuff. Decided to just finish it here. Can't get protection back on a couple of them, so 60 banners is still pretty decent. So really, really efficient after we failed against that Grievous squad. And gotta see what kind of ships are back there. It's the 2 Mon Calamari cruisers, and yeah, so let's take them out. I actually have both of my GET2 fleets on defense, so, we're just going to use our rebels to take out their Raddus here. Take out that Falcon really, really quick, and now we're just going, we don't have breach on anyone right now, so we can actually just dispel their Houndstooth, try to take out Poe. And then hopefully, can we kill Houndstooth before they get reinforcements in? That's the real question. So should I bring in Y-Wing here, or should I bring in Cassian's ship? If I bring in Y-Wing, that Houndstooth has plus 50% tenacity or something, and we're not going to land that debuff very often. Even though that would be nice to get. Instead, it's like, okay, Cassian comes in, dispels all that bonus protection anyway, so that he can hit. Falcon hits and dispels the bonus protection that he gets, that the Cassian ship generates, and after that it's over. So now we've got their rebels. They have a really fast Biston here, and we took a while trying to figure out what I wanted to take, because this Sith Bomber, man, I don't like it on offense that much. It's still, like, you can see they have all these thermals and stuff, like, they're going to be dazed eventually, so... I'm a little awkward with this counter, to be honest. I haven't practiced it much at all, but so they all have days, though. Well, they did, and then they're dispelling it, of course. But yeah, we got rid of one tank. Another tank comes in. Luckily, I have taunt, like, so we have, I'm trying to spread out all of the target lock, is what I'm trying to do, so that it never, so that the taunt never goes away from my bomber. I don't have that many reinforcements. Brought in Gauntlet just to get some protection regen, and then we can cleanse if we want, or we can get that buff immunity going. Decided to do that on Y-Wing, but if we get one more debuff on Y-Wing, it'll all that stuff will just dispel. So buff immunity is gone now, anyways. Tenacity down is gone, though. I took that down. And it's back, of course, but what's a man to do? So, decided to try to do some, like, turn meter reduction, dispelling stuff, because they have target lock on them. Falcon did manage, actually, to get the wiggle off one more time, so we can't kill the Falcon right away. It's looking a little bit dicey at this point. Like, they still have most of their ships. My bomber isn't looking too healthy, and I don't have my original bomber, who I had been assured by the person who was telling me about this comp. They had basically assured me that I was going to, like, have both bombers the entire time. So, clearly false, but we did manage to kill the Falcon here. And now at this point, it's like, okay, how many banners can I get back? Like, how can I get the most banners back? Once you kill the Falcon, just like when you kill Edda, you know, ETA, the Anakin ship, you start looking for banners rather than trying to just win, because you're basically assured the win once you get to that point. Now, Ghost does come in, and Ghost has a great potential to just do an AoE, like one final FU AoE. And so I debated for a while. You can't get target lock on Ghost right now because of, I think that's how it works, or maybe it's you can't crit Ghost. Gosh, I don't remember now. But I want to get target lock on her, so that, you know, we don't want to get rid of this taunt from the bomber. So decided to dispel. I don't know. I think what I did ended up being fine. I just seems like maybe I could optimize it a little better. I don't have the taunt right now, and Ghost gets a couple turns here, so didn't do that much though. I got 62, not bad, and the final score was actually not bad for having failed one, especially after I squandered all those other points. So yeah, 2108. I think the soft max, I think I ended up dropping like 30 something total, which isn't bad. Those are why just a tiny bit, guys. Wait a minute. Why is this doing this? Why do you do what you do? It's starting over. Let's make you all dizzy here. All right, so whoa. Once again, I apologize, folks. This is annoying. All right. As soon as we get to a decent place, you guys don't need to see anything. So, 2108. 2108 is the score to beat. I think it's 31 below the soft max, so not that great, but really all the banners that we dropped was like 26 banners we dropped on that Grievous team, and otherwise almost dropped nothing. So, like, decent, I guess. I don't know. Let's go, and I will show you how I ended up doing, what my final results are, as long as I can find the right thing. So, this is the hard part, guys. I lost. Finally, after 43 wins in a row, I finally lost. And huge props to my opponent. He executed. He one-shot me. I messed up on my defense. I put a little too light of defense. And I know a lot of people will say like that, oh, that was still such a strong defense. But here's the thing, guys. It really just... like, Padme is okay, and Grievous is okay. These two are totally placeholders for better teams. I could easily have put in my Jedi Master Luke team and made him steal more banners. I didn't need... And then I could use Padme or Grievous for decent banners on offense. Like, the trade-off would have been huge. And that's what I intended to do, was have my Jedi Master Luke team down. I failed, though. So, and who knows, maybe my opponent could have been efficient enough to beat me anyways. This is a pretty sound beating, too. This is by 10 banners. Like, it's my own fault. We gotta learn, though, guys, like, that you can't just mail it in. Like, this was gonna be an efficiency match. I knew it was gonna be an efficiency match. Why didn't I play stronger defenses? I mean, you can make excuses and just say, like, oh, I forgot, whatever. And it's true. I did forget. 100%, like, that's accurate, but, I mean, who's the one who forgot? Whose fault is that to forget? Like, you know, my own fault. And so the epic winning streak comes to an end. And yeah, yeah, guys, I'm bummed out. I won't lie. I am very sad about that. I just, you know, you win so many, and I never at any point thought that I was invincible or invulnerable, and I took this match seriously. And I knew, I mean, I kept telling people, like, I'm going to lose eventually, like, that this is going to happen, like, and it's going to happen soon, I think. And it finally did. So, what can we take away? Like, focus when you're facing a guy who's just pure efficiency, like, actually place the teams you mean to. And, you know, don't assume that you're gonna, like, I ended up being actually more efficient than him in the other fights, other than the loss. But, I mean, that loss was huge. And here's the other piece of it, guys. Easily, here's the other piece. I knew he wasn't gonna have any Galactic Legends on defense. This was exactly what he had been placing, like, every other time. So when I scouted him, and so, why wouldn't I use a really good team on this Grievous squad? Like, why wouldn't I just use, like, Jedi, Knight, Revan here, and then use a smaller team? Like, I could probably use Bounty Hunters on this Bando team. I was fast enough to do that. And then, once I did that, like, I could get 2 guaranteed wins, and then get to the back and just, and then I could, you know, why not just do that? Because I could easily use Mon Mothma up top here on these Nightsisters. Like, I had an easy target with Mothra. Like, 100% would have worked against this Nightsisters team, you know. But it didn't work out. Didn't pan out. Disappointing, of course, as I said. Just need to play strategy a little bit more. You know, Mothra is a great counter to Grievous, but I played that poorly. Lots of things to learn from it. And I'm just rambling now. Guys, it was a good match still. Like, I feel like some good things came from it. We're going to be focusing really hard now. Actually, Endall ended up losing as well. Sorry if I spoiled his video. I'm sure it's out by now. But he was the one who was going to take first over in that GA Center thing I was talking about. And so I actually have, like, a tiny bit, like, I'm still ahead. I'm still in the lead. I won't win with undefeated banners, or undefeated wins, though, so there is that. Whatever. Let's just call it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What other things? Let's just pile it on. Like, what other things could I have done better? Honestly, like, I'm good with suggestions. Let's see. Let's hear it, guys. Anyways, don't, I don't know what I'm gonna say. Here's the loss, guys. Big red loss. So gross. I'm kicking myself big time. So, guys, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails. We're gonna learn from this loss, and that's how we're gonna prevail this time. Have a good one, guys.